Señores, el escándalo de Signal no está cerrado. Esto no se ha terminado, aunque salgan a querer vendernos la idea de que todo esto ya es un caso cerrado. La realidad es muy distinta, ya que no se puede permitir que quienes han pasado años gritando que los correos electrónicos de Hillary Clinton, que los correos electrónicos y la laptop de Hunter Biden, ahora intenten hacer que todo esto desaparezca con tan solo una semana de cobertura mediática. Eso no se puede permitir. Vamos a demostrar lo peligroso y lo incompetentes que son, y para esto vamos a utilizar todas las herramientas al alcance, para exigirles responsabilidad. Exactamente es lo que ha ocurrido con el impactante anuncio de una congresista demócrata, un golpe brutal tanto para Trump, para Pete Hegseth, para Tulsi Gabbard, para J.D. Vance y todo este círculo de payasos que los rodea. Sean bienvenidos a Políticamente en Desacuerdo. Señores, hoy veremos cómo Donald Trump pierde el control luego de que esta demócrata revela nuevos delitos. Así que los invito a que se queden hasta el final de este video porque veremos los detalles más interesantes. Amigos, antes de que pasemos a ver el momento en el Congreso, que tiene a Donald Trump al parecer bastante preocupado, pongamos un poco de contexto sobre la última información que ha salido a la luz sobre todo este escándalo. Para esto veremos un poco a Rachel Maddow, que lo ha explicado muy bien en este segmento. Pongamos el clip.
The Signal group texting about war plans, that scandal is also continuing to blow up, even though they keep trying to pretend either it didn't happen or it's over now. The Wall Street Journal reporting this weekend that this apparently was not the first time that Trump National Security Advisor Michael Waltz had convened a group of Trump cabinet officials in a group chat on this commercial texting app. Quoting from the Wall Street Journal this weekend, quote, 2 U.S. officials also said that Waltz had created and hosted multiple other sensitive national security conversations on Signal with cabinet members, including separate threads on brokering peace between Russia and Ukraine, as well as other military operations. Sources, quote, declined to address if any classified information was posted in those chats. So yeah, this thing isn't going away. Wait till we find out what all the other ones were. And then there's Pete Hegseth, the Fox News weekend host who Donald Trump appointed to lead the Defense Department. In recent days, we have learned that Pete Hegseth not only posted a detailed timeline of a forthcoming military strike to that group chat on Signal, which inadvertently included a reporter, Pete Hegseth also, according to the Wall Street Journal, quote, brought his wife, a former Fox News producer, to 2 meetings with foreign military counterparts where sensitive information was discussed. The meetings included the Ukraine Defense Contact Group at NATO, a closed-door meeting of that group, more than 50 countries represented there, and also a very sensitive meeting with the British Defense Secretary. Pete Hegseth has been bringing his wife to these meetings. Does she have a security clearance? This is the same wife, you may recall, who Mr. Hegseth brought with him to his meetings with U.S. senators ahead of his confirmation process for this job. That, of course, made it socially awkward for those senators to ask him at those meetings about the rape allegations that he had faced in California and his alleged serial infidelity and problems with drinking on the job. He has denied the rape allegations in California, and, of course, he was never charged in conjunction with those allegations. That said, the Associated Press is also now reporting on the strange circumstance that has arisen at the Pentagon in Mr. Hegseth's short time there, in which not only is he bringing his wife to sensitive meetings with foreign military leaders, but he's also somehow got himself into a situation where his baby brother, his younger brother, Phil, has also ended up on the plane to Guantánamo.
No solo estamos hablando de una demostración de incompetencia y una total falta de cuidado, amigos. Es un problema sistemático dentro de la administración MAGA. Por eso, señores, no hay que permitir que, por ejemplo, Caroline Leavitt esté fingiendo que no ha pasado nada. Se necesita una investigación a fondo, no solo para que los responsables pierdan sus puestos de trabajo, sino para que enfrenten consecuencias legales, las que se merecen. Eso es exactamente lo que una congresista demócrata llevó al Congreso en un poderoso discurso. Veamos este clip.
Mr. Speaker, I rise with deep shock, concern, and outrage at the carelessness of the Trump administration in disclosing highly sensitive operational military plans on a commercial chat platform that included a reporter. Without a doubt, this reckless incompetence put our service women and men in danger. Last week, I received a call from a constituent whose son is deployed abroad in the region. His son's mission was personally put at risk by the very same people charged with safeguarding our armed forces who put their lives on the line for us. This Arizona father and his son sacrificed for our country, and we should all be ashamed that this is how their service is repaid. The Trump administration officials who set up and participated in this Signal chat debacle should have taken responsibility for their egregious mistake and instantly offered their resignation for having violated the law, contravened common sense, and put American troops in harm's way. Let me put it this way. Not only did the National Security Advisor set up an illegal, unsecured chat with the Secretary of Defense, the CIA Director, the Vice President, and others to discuss highly sensitive and imminent attack plans, but they also bungled their way into adding a random person into the chat. We should not be surprised in the slightest that the Trump administration treats our nation's secrets this way. This is the same man, after all, who had our nuclear code sitting in his bathroom in Mar-a-Lago. The way that the administration has handled this entire calamity has been equally as dangerous. Secretary of Defense Hegseth straight up lied. He said there was no classified information on the chat, that he didn't share attack plans, that no troops were put in harm's way. And then there's our Director of National Intelligence, who is supposedly our nation's most trusted, meticulous secret keeper, who went before the Senate to mislead, evade, and perjure herself. What a truly disgraceful episode. This is not a partisan issue. In fact, both the chair and ranking member of the Senate Armed Service Committee, in a bipartisan manner, requested that the Pentagon investigate the use of the Signal app to share classified information. We can all agree that no government employee, let alone a cabinet member, should be sharing classified information in a Signal chat and be careless enough to add a reporter to it as well. There should be a serious after-action review to prevent this from ever happening again, and one that considers the criminality involved. And yet another Trump lackey, our Attorney General, who is officially supposed to be the people's lawyer, is ruling out a criminal investigation into the scheme altogether. These are the same people that spent the better part of a decade looking into Hillary's emails. They evidently do not care to even pretend to investigate how our nation's most secret information was being shared. The ramifications of this unmitigated disaster will be felt for years, even decades to come.
Así es, señores, se necesitan respuestas. Hay que saber si la seguridad nacional ha quedado completamente expuesta por culpa de unos individuos los más incompetentes en la historia del gobierno estadounidense. Esto es especialmente preocupante porque cada día sigue saliendo a la luz más información sobre todo este desastre que hemos visto, ¿no? Por ejemplo, ahora sabemos que Pete Hegseth no solo estaba organizando reuniones de seguridad nacional, como si fuesen reuniones de amigos con cervezas, aunque sinceramente no me sorprendería. Trajo a su esposa, a su hermano, que por cierto también estuvo involucrado, y por si fuese poco, han aparecido nuevos chats de esta aplicación totalmente comprometidos. Jen Psaki desglosó todo esto en una situación en su programa. Vamos a este clip.
It turns out all these people who have worked on national security issues for years were onto something. They knew. I mentioned this new reporting earlier, but it bears repeating. I mean, this is from the Wall Street Journal. Quote, 2 U.S. officials said that National Security Advisor Mike Waltz has created and hosted multiple other sensitive national security conversations on Signal with cabinet members, including separate threads on how to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine, as well as military operations. They declined to address if any classified information was posted in those chats. Of course, they declined to address that. I mean, that is one of those things that is shocking a little bit, but also not really surprising. The Wall Street Journal is also reporting that even though Trump has decided not to fire Walz for now, the damage done to his reputation has put him on shaky ground in the White House, and he has lost sway with the president. Go figure. I mean, he's lost sway because he had Jeffrey Goldberg in his phone, though. I think that's the deal. Anyway, I think it's safe to say that this latest reporting about multiple other sensitive national security chats is only going to make that ground a whole lot shakier. That's my bet. Joining me now is Democratic Congressman Jason Crow of Colorado. He's a former Army Ranger who served 3 tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's also a member of the House Intelligence Committee. So I just want to start there. I suspect you're one of those people who thought maybe there's going to be other chats out there, because, of course, that wasn't the only one. The one they referenced and that the Wall Street Journal reported on today included conversations about Russia and Ukraine, as well as military operations, which is not specific. But you're a veteran. You've served in Iraq and Afghanistan. How concerned are you about what else could be out there? And what should people understand about the sensitivity of that type of information?
Well, there's no doubt this appears to be part of a larger pattern and practice that's both sloppy and reckless, but also probably violates a number of laws. But, you know, for all the discussion about violation of laws and the violation of process, I think what's most important here is the risk, the ongoing risk that's posed to our servicemen and women right now. Right? In this town, we sit around in D.C. all the time, and we talk about process, we talk about laws, we talk about principles committees, we throw out all these terms. But what is really important is there's some private, there's some sergeant, there's some captain downrange right now where we're having this conversation doing a risky mission. And our adversaries, Russia, China, and others are trying desperately to get information to harm them. So this recklessness is not without substantial risk to them.
I think this is such an important piece for people to understand, because the risk, say, with the operation in Yemen was that the Houthis could have known in advance. They didn't, but they could have known in advance.
Una vez más, amigos, no se puede dejar que escapen de este escándalo. Hay que seguir presionando, hay que seguir exigiendo respuestas. No solo porque esto tenga un impacto político, sino porque es un asunto de seguridad nacional. Y hay que ser realistas. Literal, amigos, todos están en peligro si es que no se hacen rendir las cuentas. Por eso, amigos, vamos a seguir cubriendo este tema todos los días, si es necesario, en este canal. Muchísimas gracias por acompañarme hasta el final del video. Como siempre, apóyame con un like, compartiendo este video y suscribiéndote a nuestro canal Políticamente en Desacuerdo. Nos vemos en el próximo video. Hasta luego.